Oh, hello. Every generation has its spooky legends. Bigfoot in the woods, Bloody Mary in the mirror, Slender Man in your search history. But only one legend has her own vodka line, interconnected movie universe, and a glass cage in Connecticut. It's got its own mood lighting and everything. Let's get our investigator hats on, our paranormal gear set. We're talking about Annabelle, the doll. Thanks to The Conjuring, she became horror royalty, spinning off into 3 solo movies and raking in enough box office cash to buy her own doll penthouse. But here's the thing, Annabelle isn't just some washed up Hollywood has-been. She's back in the headlines right now. She's been on tour, allegedly causing chaos and even getting leased out to a comedian. Oh yeah, she gets leased out now. Now I can imagine taking a lease out on a car, but can you imagine telling your friends and family that you took out a lease on Annabelle, the doll? So today we're diving into her origin story, her recent cursed adventures, and we're investigating the age-old question. Is Annabelle really haunted? Or is she just really good at PR? Say your prayers, splash some holy water on the like button, and let's crack open the cursed case of Annabelle the doll. In 1970, a nursing student named Donna got a Raggedy Ann doll as a gift from her mom. These things are creepy enough on their own, even when they're not possessed. I mean, why do you think that their eyes are so dilated? They came from that hippie time, all right? The first Raggedy Ann doll was made by Johnny Gruel in 1915, the same year he patented the design. 1915? Whoa! So she's been around for a long time. That's a lot of history. A lot of time to be possessed, I guess. What do you think of this one? It's crazy to think that the mom was vintage shopping for an Annabelle doll. You know, I love going to thrift stores and finding nostalgic stuff from the past. But imagine something as fun as that, something as loving as getting a doll for your daughter and it turning into this nightmare. That's so crazy to think about. Anyway, things got weird for Donna. At first, the doll would just move a little, head tilt, arms folded, but soon Donna would leave for class and come back to find Annabelle in another room. Then one day, Donna spotted what looked like blood on the doll's hands. And honestly, if my doll starts bleeding, I'm out of there. I don't even care about the security deposit at that point. I mean, I care a little bit. I'm gonna try and get it, but there's a cursed doll. Come on. Instead, Donna and her roommate, Angie, call a medium, which is bad idea number 1. The medium told them Annabelle was the ghost of a 7-year-old girl who died on the land where their apartment was built. So Donna and Angie, being way too nice for their own good, said, "Sure, little ghost girl, live in the doll, rent free." When was the last time inviting a ghost to live with you worked out? That's when the nightmare began. Enter Lou, Donna's boyfriend. He hated Annabelle, and Annabelle hated him right back. He started having nightmares where Annabelle would be crawling up his leg at night in his bed and trying to strangle him. Then they found creepy notes written on parchment paper that said, "Help me," and "Help Lou," which would be scary enough, right? But no one in that apartment had parchment paper to begin with. And then things escalated. Lou was attacked out of nowhere. So one day he goes into a room, he finds Annabelle laying face down on the ground, and of course she had moved from where she originally was, all right? So he picks her up, and then he feels this burning sensation on his chest. So he lifts his shirt and he discovers 7 claw marks right here. Another weird thing about that is that the claw marks actually healed very fast, within 2 days, like it had never been there in the first place. That was the breaking point. They decided to call a priest, which led to Ed and Lorraine Warren getting involved. So Ed and Lorraine Warren arrive at the apartment with the priest, and they decide that this is not the ghost of a little girl at all. It's a demon. They bless the apartment, they take Annabelle home. Problem solved, right? Wrong. On the drive back, the Warrens' car starts swerving. The brakes fail. Power steering fails. Basically, Annabelle tried to end them. It wasn't until Ed threw holy water on her that the car magically worked again. Back at their home, she kept moving around, locked away, but always showing up in new spots. One priest mocked her and then immediately got into a near-fatal car accident. Years later, a motorcyclist taunts her at the Warrens Museum, and then he drives away on his motorcycle with his girlfriend, and they get into a fatal crash. By this point, Annabelle goes from just a creepy doll to worldwide infamous horror legend. So we fast forward to today. Annabelle isn't just in the movies, she's on tour. This year's Devils on the Run tour turned into a social media circus. First stop, West Virginia. Locals claimed floods and tornadoes followed her visit. All right, let's watch this guy's Instagram reel about it.
So between April 8th to 11th, it was in West Virginia. And tornado outbreaks and floods literally happened for 5 days leading up to the visit. And then 8 days after she leaves, they have a devastating storm that causes widespread power outages and structural damage.
There's all these things of people trying to blame her for things, but there's no evidence, no concrete evidence that it's her fault.
Well, that's another reason why it's possible that these supernatural stories can go so far. It can permeate because you don't have to have the proof.
Yeah.
You have to have like supernatural. How are you going to prove it?
Yeah.
And therefore, it's true. Next stop, New Orleans.
Around the time that Annabelle visited New Orleans, there was a fire that destroyed the Nottoway plantation, and there was an escape of 10 inmates from a city jail shortly after that fire.
These are the dudes who escaped from prison. Do these guys look like Annabelle helped them? I'm sure that they could get out of prison themselves without Annabelle giving them the lowdown, you know what I'm saying? Did she sneak in there and give them a prison break pep talk? Are we to believe that she's the mastermind to this prison break? Then another fire, this time at the former home of Marie Laveau, the voodoo queen of New Orleans. Someone wrote this 3 months ago. There is a rumor that she was moved and now is lost. I think it's just marketing for the new movie to build up hype. Yeah, this feels like a grassroots promotional tour for the movie, and I think it's working. It is working. That movie came out this past weekend and is doing so well. It's the highest grossing opening weekend in the whole franchise of The Conjuring. Rumors that Annabelle escaped her case and went missing got so wild that her handler Dan Rivera had to post a TikTok video assuring everyone Annabelle was safe, locked up, and not running around committing arson.
Hey guys, this is Dan. I'm here right at the museum right now. I just want to show you guys that Annabelle is in the Warrens Occult Museum. And let's go inside and let's check. Who's there? Annabelle. The Warrens Occult Museum. Annabelle's not missing. She's not in Chicago. She never was in Chicago. And she's not missing because she's right behind me.
Who's that other doll? Who's that supposed to be? Who do you think looks creepier, Annabelle or this doll? This one, right here, this picture. Who is that? That one's pretty creepy. Yeah, I know about the shadow doll, but that other doll was different. I'm having a hard time finding it. If anyone knows in the comment section, please let me know who that doll was. Let's get back on track here. According to an article from the Daily Mail, Ryan Buell, who's a member of the tours team and that guy who starred on that show, Paranormal State, they were telling him about all the weird devastation that was happening on the tour's route throughout the country, and he weighed in on this. This is the first time I've ever looked. Okay, yes, I can confirm we were within 5 miles of the plantation on the freeway, and yes, it was on the same date. So I mean, yes, this is a very bizarre coincidence. That is strange that all this stuff starts happening when she rolls into town. No one is safe! And then tragedy struck. In July 2025, Dan Rivera's body was found in his hotel room while on tour with Annabelle.
After giving a presentation in the Gettysburg location, they were in Gettysburg.
Oh.
So, and then he said he wasn't feeling good. And then he went to his hotel room, and then he was discovered later by his coworkers. So he died in his hotel room.
Yeah. Officials said natural causes, but of course conspiracy theories started to explode. Annabelle strikes again? The internet sure thinks so. As if that wasn't bizarre enough, in August 2025, comedian Matt Rife and YouTuber Elton Castee bought Ed and Lorraine Warren's house. Along with it, they became the temporary legal guardians of Annabelle and the 750 other haunted objects at the Warrens Museum. Yes, Annabelle is now an Airbnb rental. Yeah, with influencers as her landlords. Nothing surprises me anymore. I've been through too many things in this world. I refuse to let this be shocking to me. Let's read the actual Facebook post, shall we? Those are the dudes. Insane announcement. I have officially purchased Ed and Lorraine Warren's home and occult museum, including being the legal guardian for at least the next 5 years of the entire haunted collection, including the Annabelle doll with my good friend Elton Casti. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with the paranormal and all things haunted. You also may know the Conjuring films are my favorite scary movies of all time. So I'm incredibly honored to have taken over one of the most prominent properties in paranormal history. Some people collect stamps, other people collect Annabelle the doll. We plan to open the house for overnight stays and museum tours, so you yourself can experience and learn all the haunted history surrounding this amazing place. He's gonna make a lot of money with this, I'll tell you that. He will make his money back. But I saw on his Facebook page here also that there was a statement from Tony and Judy Spera. So Judy being the Warrens' daughter, and obviously Tony is the son-in-law of the Warrens. Message from Tony and Judy Spera. I want to clarify some things, such as the rumor swirling about stating that Judy and I sold the house, the museum, and the artifacts. The truth is this, we sold the house and the building that houses the artifacts. We could no longer afford to keep the house, trying to maintain that home plus our home. We wanted to sell for a while, but we're in a quandary over the artifacts. What would we do with the museum artifacts? We vowed that we would never sell them, nor just throw them into some storage unit, which is that's a good idea. Or worse, destroy them or throw them away. Why can't you destroy them? That's the part I'm not understanding. That kept us from really getting serious about selling the house itself. Dan Rivera, my best friend and business partner, knew we wanted to sell. One day he called me and said he thought he may have a buyer for the house and had an idea for the artifacts. He contacted Elton Casti from the Overnight channel on YouTube and discussed the dilemma with him. They came up with what I believe was an ingenious idea. Elton and his very good buddy Matt Rife would buy the house. They would open it up as an Airbnb with a slant towards paranormal guests who could stay overnight and investigate a haunted house. At no time will they own the artifacts. So again, Matt Rife does not own the artifacts. He's leasing them. The lease is for 5 years, at which time we can negotiate further lease options. Holy crap! This Tony Spera guy is nothing if not a shrewd businessman. He's got licensing deals on these artifacts that are supposed to be dangerous. Dangerous spiritually, physically, just dangerous. He's selling 5-year lease plans to comedians. What would I have done in this situation? Okay, I don't know. What would you have done in this situation? Be honest. There have been comments, some very rude, including a family member who has disparaged our decision and also thrown trashy remarks about Elton and Matt. People ask why the rude relative didn't just buy it. Truth is, this relative could never afford to buy it or maintain it. Okay, let's not get petty here, okay? I guess he wanted us to just give it to him. So you got some family drama over this stuff. I thought I was gonna inherit the demon dolls and artifacts. Tony Spera, he showed a demonstration of Dan Rivera and he transporting the Annabelle doll from one casing to another. Basically, it involves reading some prayers, two different types. The Lord's Prayer and this other one, a ritual prayer of some sort.
Yeah.
And Dan Rivera was there to make the transfer, the guy who passed away.
Right.
Tony Spera would put holy water on Dan's hands and they would take it as fast as possible, go there. They do this thing where they put holy water on the casing of the doll. They even put some finishing on the wood.
Yes.
And in that finishing are essential oils that have been blessed as well. So
Yeah.
they do this whole thing, but it just feels a little like it's so performative. You saw that footage.
And especially they were like, we're moving her and her case has to be restored. I'm like, her case looks fine, even if it is disheveled looking. It's as long as the case, works, it locks. Why are you restoring it?
The whole Annabelle empire is getting out of hand. Why is it that everything needs a merch line, a movie series, a live attraction? Oh, by the way, speaking of merch lines, we've got the Paranormal Reserve, which is the Annabelle edition of this vodka line from Harridan Vodka. They talked to Tony and said, we want to store these vodka bottles at the museum.
And let them age.
And let them age in that evil room. And of course, Tony was like, Okay. It is 750 mLs of 44% alcohol by volume. $199 was the asking price for one of these bottles. It is, of course, sold out. The merchandise for the Annabelle franchise is endless, I gotta tell you. I mean, it's kind of brilliant, but it's also so janky. Like, come on. A vodka line. You look at that vodka just marinating in Annabelle's case. You think it makes the vodka taste any better? So this one was aged 30 days in Annabelle's case, making for a smooth and oaky tasting vodka. The 666th bottle of Harridan's 2022 Paranormal Reserve cost $13,000. Wow. $13,000. The bottle priced at $13,000 is packaged in a one-of-a-kind wooden case that is a replica of Annabelle's current confines. It will be available for purchase. $13,000? I don't know, Tony, okay? Maybe he's a great person. Maybe he's really fun drinking vodka with.
Sure, maybe.
Especially, the cursed vodka. By the way, he said that he took time to make sure he put holy water and did the whole blessing thing, had a priest bless the bottles.
Yes.
And the packaging.
Yeah.
So he made sure to say that because he's like, better for sales if they realize that a priest was like, oh, yeah, go with God and all that. And can I have a shot? Father.
I mean, I think that's also, I think he also said that to save their butts, because if someone drank it was like going to sue them for being cursed or something.
It was blessed.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so we know the legend, but here's where things just don't add up. In a 2000 interview with Ed and Lorraine Warren and their son-in-law, Tony Spera, Ed says that the event happened in 1971, not 1970 like it says on TonySpera.com.
A nurse had received the doll 1971 as a present, a Christmas present from her mother.
I mean, you were there, right? It's hard to imagine that you'd get the year wrong on something like that, right? In the interview, he claims that he has film and recordings of the Annabelle case, but to this day, nothing has ever been shown. Why? In the 2000 interview, Ed claimed there was a 6-year-old girl who died in a car crash in front of the apartment building.
The woman held a seance and she said, there's a spirit of a 6-year-old girl in that doll who was killed in an automobile accident just outside of your apartment house here.
Originally, the little girl was 7 and died on the land that the apartment building was built on. You see, on TonySpera.com in the Annabelle section, there's a quote from the medium that says, the medium related the story of Annabelle to both Donna and Angie. Annabelle was a young girl that resided on the property before the apartments were built. They were happy times. She was a young girl of only 7 years old when her lifeless body was found in the field upon which the apartment complex now stands. So where did the car crash come from all of a sudden? These stories, they just can't keep them straight. I demand to be lied to with grace. If you're gonna lie to me well, you know what I'm saying? The famous motorcycle crash. According to an investigator named Stevie from the Truth or Demon podcast, she ruffled some feathers over at Nesper for her research on debunking the Annabelle story. She even received a phone call from Dan Rivera himself. Apparently, he claims that when he was 8 years old, he witnessed the famous motorcycle crash caused by Annabelle. But the problem is finding evidence that this accident ever occurred. Stevie cross-checked this story by emailing all public libraries in Monroe, Hartford, and Bridgeport, but didn't have any news archives of the motorcycle accident. Then she contacted the Bridgeport police, and they have no records of the accident. Finally, she checked archives of accident reports in Connecticut. Not one accident reported had a female passenger during that time. But wait, there's more! According to Stevie and her research team, the highway where the accident took place in 1980 was under construction and was not complete until 1982. So how could this accident take place when the highway in question wasn't even complete? Look, I'll leave a link to her podcast in the description section. It's really well researched and she's quite the investigator. Check it out. As far as Dan's death being suspicious and Annabelle having something to do with it, well, we do have the answer to that now. Here we are on NBC News. Dan Rivera, paranormal investigator who died on tour with Annabelle doll, suffered a heart attack. The cause of death has been determined to be cardiac related and is ruled as a natural death. Mr. Rivera had a known history of cardiac issues which were consistent with the findings. Annabelle is not directly responsible for Rivera's death, according to Dutro. It is also confirmed that Annabelle was not present in the room at the time of his passing. So there you go. Rest in peace, Dan Rivera. I mean, the guy had a heart problem and sadly passed away while doing what he loved. Then there's the Annabelle is too dangerous, except when we want to make profit situation. The Warrens and their team have always stressed that Annabelle is extremely dangerous and should not be touched. Ever. But they're always taking her out to public events and acting like stage parents. You know what I mean? I don't know. It looks like she's just kind of carrying her. Shouldn't she be wearing a hazmat suit or something? Sounds sarcastic, but seriously, if this is a cursed doll, I would be wearing a hazmat suit or something like that. In a 1974 news article, 4 years after the famous first incident, a woman can be seen posing next to Annabelle at a Halloween party hosted by the Warrens. And Annabelle is not in her case. But wait, I thought she had to be kept locked away at all times. What happened to that? Then you have the incident with Ghost Adventures host Zach Baggins and Tony Spera. In 2017, Tony Spera brought Annabelle on a plane full of people and flew to Las Vegas to display Annabelle at Zach's Haunted Museum. Later on, Zach Baggins actually touches the doll. Supposedly he got ill later on, but you're a professional ghost hunter. You didn't know that that was a bad idea? So is Annabelle really possessed? Did she cause fires, floods, and prison breaks? I don't know, but I will say this. There is a brand new Conjuring movie out in movie theaters right now, and it just seems like perfect timing and perfect marketing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, bless the like button. You can also get access to more exclusive content by going over to my Patreon at patreon.com/Dunniverse, or you can hit the join button right here to become a member directly on YouTube. You'll get loads of videos not available anywhere else, and you'll get your name in the credits. And as always, see you next time.